Greetings, family. I hope you're all doing well today, in Jesus' name. Today, we're going to be taking a look at some plans they have unfolding utilizing 5G towers in their dumb little smart cities. There have been many conspiracies about why the 5G towers were actually put up. I'm sure you guys remember some of them, like the one where everyone turns into zombies when the 5G gets turned on, or the one where everyone's going to drop dead when they turn up the 5G powers. I certainly don't deny they're emitting toxic frequencies that are harmful to living things. I saw one study showed it's not so much the 5G tower itself that is so harmful to you, but it is the signal that is coming out of your phone that is doing the damage.
So right now we're at around 0.4 milliwatts per meter squared. It's jumping around. Let's bring my phone close to it now. Holy cow. 327 it got to. Okay, that is a lot higher than the cell phone tower. Let's turn off my phone completely. 800 it got to. 818. Whoa. Okay, it turned off. So you know that was coming from my phone right there. It's at 1.6. Let's turn on my phone. So it's probably going to use some signal here as it turns on. So it's always kind of sending out some signals, and they don't come in continuous waveform. You can see they come in little packets on this graph down here.
Don't get me wrong, the 5G tower itself is very harmful, the closer you're standing to it. However, the signal emitted out of your phone from 5G that you hold right next to your head, or set down right next to you when you sleep at night, is no doubtedly emitting quite the potent harmful frequency. My theory on them has generally been that they're going to need the extra power to support their New World Beast system. Of course time will tell, but so will they. They generally tell on their own selves if you're paying attention. They will definitely need the extra power to run all their new smart cities, but they also need the extra power to build us all inside of 15-minute cities in the meantime. I hear they are finally making progress in breaking ground on some of the smart cities that they have planned. As the birth pains increase, and more people really start to get afraid, they will most likely flock to the smart cities in droves as the experts tell tall tales of peace and security. I don't know about you guys, but I think my cell phone service actually got worse since 5G has come out. So what are the 5G towers actually here for? To power their new dystopia, of course, their digital economy, their facial recognition systems, their driverless car networks, their AI robots, their Neuralink brain chips, their droves of police drones, their virtual reality interacting buildings and places, and much more. I wonder if the enemy has accounted for all the things God is going to be doing in all of this, because none of their little technologies can work unless they have power.
McFly, you bojo! The cars don't work on water! Unless you've got power!
The future of communities is smart. 5G will allow communities to become interconnected and transform our daily lives. How will 5G for smart communities help prevent emergencies? The city of Wavre, with the EU's support, will use 5G to reinforce their police, firefighters, and paramedic services. How?
The drone-in-a-box solution is a drone that's available for the police department and the fire department as a service. So it's connected to the dispatch center. The moment there is a distress call coming in, it will automatically take off and give it extra eye in the sky the first 30 minutes of an incident. The reason that we can deploy it today is because we make use of the 5G technology for two major things in our deployment. The first one is the low latency. This makes it able to control the drone directly without any delay. The second one is the video quality. The 5G allows us to stream real-time video with a high quality to the dispatch center, so they have a better overview of the situation. The safety drone will help the fire and the police department to make better decisions, to quicker get a grip of the situation, and in the end to save lives, because we will save a lot of time and a lot of means with it.
How will 5G for smart communities help save energy. The City of Wavre, with the EU support, will use 5G to facilitate the monitoring of energy usage and allow its optimization. How?
La 5G est essentielle dans nos futurs métiers au niveau de la transition énergétique parce qu'elle va nous permettre de transmettre des données en quantité extrêmement importante et à une vitesse importante pour la gestion de nos réseaux. Nous avons déjà installé sur notre réseau près de 1500 compteurs communicants, donc on reçoit déjà ces informations-là. Nous sommes aujourd'hui capables de communiquer en temps réel avec les points lumineux. Donc, 80% de nos points lumineux aujourd'hui sur Wavre sont équipés de ce genre de capteurs. Parce que quelque part, le but de tout ça, demain, c'est d'arriver à l'objectif zéro carbone au niveau 2050. Durant la guerre d'Ukraine, nous avons pu économiser 1 million de kilowattheures grâce à la gestion dynamique et de nos réseaux d'éclairage public, économiser ainsi 260 tonnes de CO2 sur toute l'année.
There is no RAAC concrete in Westminster. Yep, the kids are all back at school and they're busy. Yesterday is a really big day. It's the third reading of the energy bill. Now, this is all about us becoming compliant with our net zero targets and a very major push for renewables, in particular, the emphasis being with onshore wind. And you might have seen Ed Miliband in that clip on the news a moment ago, and the government saying, look, we've got to stop this ban, we must build more onshore wind. There are two things going on here. One is the continued cult of net zero, that the UK must be a world leader, we must get to net zero more quickly than any other developed country. The second is the continued belief that renewable energy is plentiful, free and cheap, which frankly it has never ever been, and goodness knows how many times on this programme we've been through the problems of intermittency and the need to back it all up, let alone the fact that cost-wise it just doesn't work without subsidy. But there's something else going on in this bill, which I believe to be far more sinister. And frankly, even though Parliament's just come back, I am totally astonished at the lack of media debate and coverage. We'll find out later on this evening what amendments have passed and what haven't, so we'll know the actual shape of this legislation before it heads to the House of Lords. But there are, unbelievably, it seems to me, provisions in this bill that would allow for the creation of criminal offences. I'm going to repeat that. Allow for the creation of criminal offences if businesses, and here's the rub, individual householders don't tell the truth or don't meet up to new energy requirements for their houses. It seems to me to be truly and utterly extraordinary. Yes, you could be prosecuted for providing false information about your house's energy efficiency or for the obstruction of an enforcement authority. This takes us down the direction where we will all have to have meters. Meters for water, meters for gas, meters for electricity. I'm still fighting like crazy against Thames Water, who keep sending me these, you must now give us a date to come and fit your water meter. I don't want one. They now tell me my bills will be higher unless I comply. But I can see with this legislation, all of this will become mandatory. What it represents to me is yet another potential massive expansion of the state and its power over our lives, and yet it is getting so little debate. Should the government be able to have these powers? I don't believe they should. Let me know your thoughts.
You'll probably start to see some of these meters appearing on homes in the next few days or even several months. But some of you have raised some concerns as to how safe Avista's smart meters really are. We received a question from our viewer, Gina Bradford. She says she's seen comments on her Nextdoor community group saying that Avista's smart meters are a fire hazard. So I looked into this. Do Avista's smart meters have any fire hazard? To find out, I reached out to Avista and Chief Brian Schaefer with the Spokane Fire Department. Lorraine Ju with Avista says these meters don't present any fire hazard. Avista is partnering with the meter company Itron. They've installed more than 20 million meters. She says they haven't received any reports of safety hazards from them. Now, Chief Schaefer says the fire department hasn't responded to any fires that started from smart meters. He says in his experience, there's not a fire hazard.
A faulty CPS electrical meter is to blame for a house fire this morning. A malfunction caused the meter to explode and start sparking around 2:30 on West Wildwood. Firefighters were able to get into the home's attic and stop the fire from spreading. The family will be displaced until the fried meter is repaired.
Now, another concern that's come about with these meters is if their radio frequency levels are safe. But Avista says these levels are less than the amount of a cell phone, so there's nothing to worry about there. This comment on the Nextdoor community website says meters aren't safe because they were banned in Canada. Well, the meters weren't banned, but they were pulled because of some safety issues. But Ju says those meters were from a different company. She says Itron's meters are installed in 10 countries and are safely functioning. So we can verify that no, Avista smart meters are not a safety hazard, and they also aren't linked to any health issues from their radio frequency levels. But if you're still concerned about these meters, there is the option to opt out for a $5 monthly fee. But Avista says they're hoping to have these meters installed on homes all around the area between now and the end of next year.
How will 5G for smart communities help ensure reliable connections? The city of Wavre, with the EU support, will use 5G to become a smart city across the sectors of culture, mobility, environment, healthcare, and much more. How?
Nous avons un plan stratégique important pour la ville de Wavre et la connectivité et la 5G permettront de rendre ce plan réaliste et réalisable pour l'avenir. Il y a évidemment des tas de domaines dans lesquels la 5G trouvera à s'appliquer, que ce soit dans le domaine de la santé. Nous allons accueillir un nouvel hôpital et c'est un des développements très très importants. Des nouvelles technologies, de l'art, des recherches scientifiques et donc d'autres domaines d'application qui sont très proches du citoyen, c'est la sécurité. Nous avons un grand parc d'attractions qui est connu quasiment dans toute l'Europe. Ça s'appelle Walibi. Et donc, pour ce parc d'attractions, évidemment, la connectivité est importante. Nous avons besoin de connectivité. Comme il y a un siècle, nous avons eu besoin d'électricité. On parle de fracture numérique et nous mettons tout en œuvre pour réduire cette fracture numérique.
Elon Musk's Neuralink has just dropped a huge announcement about the details of their first ever human trial for their revolutionary brain implant device and revealed who the first Neuralink users will be. In a recent announcement, Neuralink has confirmed that they are actively recruiting the first human test subjects for their N1 brain-computer interface device and R1 surgical robot procedure. The company revealed that an independent institutional review board has granted them full approval to begin the process of selecting their first ever human patients for a clinical trial which is now known as the PRIME study, short for Precise Robotically Implanted Brain-Computer Interface. This will be a groundbreaking investigational medical device trial of Neuralink's fully implantable, wireless brain-computer interface, and it's expected that the first human trial will take up to 6 years for Neuralink to complete and verify their findings. The primary study period will take place over the first 18 months after the device has been implanted. Patients will check in with a medical team every 2 months to monitor progress and ensure the Neuralink device continues to work as intended. 1-hour BCI research sessions with the Neuralink team will be completed at least 2 times per week for every patient for the duration of the 18-month primary study. The long-term follow-up phase of the trial begins immediately after the primary study and will continue with 4 clinical visits per year over the course of the next 5 years. The aim of the PRIME study will be to evaluate the safety of both the N1 implant and R1 surgical robot, then assess the initial functionality of the Neuralink technology for enabling people with full body paralysis to control external devices with their thoughts. Neuralink founder Elon Musk was quick to promote the Neuralink trial on his social media platform, now known as X. Elon wrote, "The first human patient will soon receive a Neuralink device. This ultimately has the potential to restore full body movement." Musk also sees the opportunity to remind people that his long-term goal with Neuralink has always been and continues to be a device that will bridge the gap between the human brain and artificial general intelligence. Elon wrote, "In the long term, Neuralink hopes to play a role in AI risk civilization, risk reduction by improving human to AI and human to human bandwidth by several orders of magnitude."
First came the credit card swipe and then the tap, and now just a wave of the hand can process a payment.
So the future just keeps coming. Let's check in with
Fast.
Jason Carr in the carport. Jason, what the mark of the beast is going on?
At a time when Elon Musk has monkeys playing Pong with their brains, scientists are growing half monkey, half human embryos, and UFOs are becoming a more real phenomenon. This seems on par or even a bit subdued by comparison or contrast.
I can see through all this pain. I can look past the madness too. Don't let life pass you by. Through the looking glass of someone else's life. If it's all about money and bills, I can't take it. If that is all there is, I'll never make it. So I trust in the Lord above. He sent His Son to save the world He loves. Believe it or not, but it is true. It's true. You may not believe in Him, but He believes in you. He believes in you. Surely on the day you die, will be the day the truth you come to find.
Listen. What happened to you, USA? What happened to you? What's going on? You forget for the best of the world. The name is Jesus Christ. What happened to you? Wake up, USA. Go back for you. Go for Jesus.